Wow. We have more seats than 2 years ago, and it's nice to see such a healthy crowd out here. I'd like to welcome each and every one of you here tonight. This is the 2012 East Coast Surfing Hall of Fame inductions. And, you know, this term is kind of used a lot, but it really makes a statement here as this is a gathering of the tribe. And I look out there, I don't see any freaking Indians, but I see an awful lot of surfers. And I just want to remind everybody, what is a surfer? And to me, it's we ride waves. It doesn't have anything to do with how you ride them and what you're on. You can be a body surfer, a body boarder. You can be a stand-up paddler. You can be a short boarder, a long boarder, whatever. If you're riding a wave, you're a surfer. And what does that mean? We share a lifestyle that is different than any other sport on earth. And let's celebrate that. You know, it's hard to relate to the rest of the world because they just don't understand what riding a wave does to you. But everybody in this room understands that. And it's really great. We do this every 2 years to have everybody get together and celebrate things that happened in the past and things that nobody really thought about was going to bring them to this point in time. So it's pretty amazing. I kind of scratch my head and say, how did we get here? And it's because we lived a great lifestyle, surfing. So I would like to open up by thanking Surf Expo, our one and only sponsor. You know, how many events do you go to and they have 250 sponsors? The Salick brothers, my God, they have more sponsors than they can keep track of. But right here tonight, we have one sponsor. They put up the money to rent the hall, to put us in here, to put up the bar. So that's Surf Expo. Roy Turner, are you in the house? Where is Roy? I saw him last time. I'm looking. I don't see him waving, but anyway, you know what's really cool is Roy Turner is from a surfing lifestyle. Shop owner in Wrightsville Beach, North Carolina. Started the Board Retailers Association, and now running Surf Expo. So we have one of us is running this trade show, and this is Surf Expo. And we thank you all very much. And also we'll solicit a few sponsors. If there's anybody out there that would like to kick in and raise the money to make this a bigger event, more food, open bar, you know, you're welcome to kick down and join Surf Expo as a sponsor of this event. Okay, moving on. We want to have just a brief moment about, we had 3 East Coast Surfing Hall of Fame members pass on into the waveland up there above, where it's offshore and glassy every single frickin' day, and it's a point break. So, and we're going to also include, and we'll start with those guys, and everybody will have heard of Harold Iggy and Sean Collins passed away. Just both of them, Harold Iggy paddle surfing out in Hawaii last week. Sean Collins passed away. But I don't want a moment of silence. I'm going to read the names. Let's have hoot, applause, and cheer life, because surfing is celebration. In memoriam, let's hear it. George Gerlach. Dudley Whitman. Yancey Spencer. You know, we're all stuck here, and these guys are up there surfing perfect offshore waves. So we're happy to celebrate this lifestyle with these that have passed on to a much better place. They don't have to go to Surf Expo every freaking year. Well, also like to touch on, it's pretty amazing this year. Pete Dooley has been doing a lot with the internet and the Facebook page, and thank God for that, because Pete has nothing else to do. His lovely wife is slaving as a waitress in a restaurant and keeping him fed, and well fed, as you can see. But Pete has really brought this East Coast Hall of Fame thing out there, and there was quite a discussion, I started in the middle of the summer, of how do you get into the East Coast Hall of Fame? And we touched on this 2 years ago, and I'm going to go over it again, just so everybody understands. The very first and foremost thing is someone has to write a nomination paragraph, okay, and send it in to Pete or to Cecil, and that's where it begins. You can't write a paragraph about yourself. Let's have somebody else do it for you. So if you have enough money, pay that $5, somebody else can do it for you. Certainly, some of the requirements are anyone that's won a world title, and we happen to know somebody that's won a lot of world titles that's from the East Coast. Well, he's still active, and we'll let him stay active and not Hall of Fame him until he decides to quit. Anyone who finished in the top 16 on the world tour would be recognized and available. Surfers who have distinguished careers in amateur, semi-professional, and professional competitions on a regional and national level would be considered by the advisory board. Who is the advisory board? I don't know. It's a mystery. That's the best I can do. We have different categories, industry being one of those categories. People considered in the industry category are based entirely on their contributions to Cecil Lear's pocketbook. No, sorry. Contributions to the sport of surfing and not the length of time they have been in business. So, if you've really done something for surfing, then you might be able to get into this hallowed hall. And what a hallowed hall this is. It's got an echo. We would like to let you know that this is not a popularity contest. It's not how popular we're on the beach. It's not just that you were a groovy person. It's what your contribution was to the sport of surfing. Media is another division. Media division is considered upon print, photo, and video compositions over an extended period of time and is not limited to East Coast residents. So if that happens to fit who you want to nominate, then that's the way to go with the media. And boy, have we got a media guy in here tonight. Phew! Then we have the pioneers. And the pioneers are the old farts. And there's nothing wrong with that, because I'm an old fart too, Pioneers are considered. Can I say fart? Is that all right? We're not going to have the censors here. The importance and consideration by the unknown advisory board is people who have been instrumental in developing the sport in their local areas here on the East Coast. So that's part of what, and we'll go through that as we have several pioneers here who fit that criteria impeccably. It's awesome for me to have met a couple of our inductees and chatted with them earlier. The advisory board, here's a little note here, is composed of a maximum of 10 individuals, not necessarily members of the Hall of Fame, but selected based on their knowledge and history of the sport of surfing on the East Coast. And again, who are they? We don't know. Oh, somebody knows. There's a secret there. All right, let's begin with our inductions. And we'd like to have all of our inductees please come up and take a seat. And you all can applaud. How was that? A bunch of Hall of Famers. We got to put them in order.